And I told them whatever they need to do, let's just get it done.
How police say a team effort led them to an arrest in connection to a string of overdoses in Rowan County last week.
As Hillary Clinton responded to more questions about her health tonight, Donald Trump fired back again about a comment she made about some of his supporters.
A Lexington man talks to us about the patriotic cleats he designed for former UK football player Avery Williamson to honor the people who died in the September 11th attacks.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. We have had some great weather the last couple of days with plenty of sunshine and low humidity.
So, will that continue tomorrow? We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast. I'm hoping you're saying it will continue.
For the most part, it's going to continue into the day tomorrow. Guys, when you have such dry air in place, it cools quickly when the sun sets, and it heats up quickly as the sun rises. Right now, a few spots are already upper 50s. Many of us, though, low and mid 60s. We are going to spend another night into the 50s. Nothing showing up on your Defender radar network. Are you ready for a 30-degree temperature swing tomorrow? 55 for the little ones out the door in the morning. May need a jacket. 85 for the trip back home tomorrow afternoon. Jacket is not going to be on, as this little summertime air mass just will not go away across most of central and eastern Kentucky, and we should hang on to mostly sunny skies. Southern Kentucky may be a small threat for a shower or thunderstorm. On Wednesday, we'll track a cold front that is out across the plain states toward central and eastern Kentucky. That's the first of two fronts that will show up in the 7-day forecast, and all of that will lead to a slow increase in showers and thunderstorms, guys. The new hour-by-hour forecast is in. I'll share it with you at 11:13.
They are determined to end the heroin epidemic in their community, and police in Moorhead say tonight they've taken a big step towards doing just that.
They say they've made one arrest connected to at least 10 overdoses in Rowan County last week, and police say they're also receiving some help from the community. Garrett Weimer has our top story at 11.
Moorhead police say they went from seeing sporadic overdoses to a day they wouldn't stop.
We would clear one call, maybe have just enough time to, catch our breath, and then we would be responding to another overdose.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, never. No. It's extreme right now.
One person died, the surge sparking a two-state investigation that led to an arrest.
When you start importing heroin that, starts killing and putting your citizens near death, you'll do whatever you need to do to get the job done. And that's what we did. We all got together after that, and I told them whatever they needed to do, let's just get it done.
Chief Blevins says they worked with Cincinnati police and federal investigators to track down the source of that heroin in Ohio. With that arrest, he says they recovered 51 grams of heroin intended for right here in Moorhead, in addition to another 10 grams taken off the streets here. Moorhead police now carry Narcan. Chief Blevins says they even got a donation from a former addict.
Somebody helped her once, so she went and spent $300 of her own money just to bring us some Narcan so we could have it.
Police say their goal, though, is to keep heroin from getting on the streets in the first place.
If you decide to import heroin into Moorhead, we're going to use whatever resources we need, no matter where you're at, to come find you.
In Moorhead, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Community leaders, healthcare providers, and law enforcement are hosting a community forum tomorrow night to talk about the drug problem and how to solve it. That forum starts at 6 at the Moorhead Conference Center. Lexington police officers are now carrying Narcan. Police Chief Mark Barnard says he doesn't expect officers to use it often since EMS crews are usually the first to respond to overdoses. But he says in case police officers arrive first, he wants them to be able to help an overdose patient immediately.
The opiate addiction is showing everyone, not just a certain segment of a community, but everyone is being affected by this, just as it was in the past. So I think it's important to look at it and say, how can we help everyone in our community? And this is not the answer, but it's a helpful solution.
Lexington police say they included more than $20,000 in their budget for the Narcan, and the city approved it. New tonight, Lexington police are looking for two men they say stole a car at gunpoint. It happened around 9:30 tonight outside a home on Elmwood Drive in the Joyland neighborhood. The victim says two men walked up, pointed a gun at him, and demanded his car. Police say one of the robbers drove off in the car while the other ran away. The victim says his wallet and cell phone were also in the car. He wasn't hurt. Police haven't made any arrests, and they say they're still looking for the car, a white Mazda with Pennsylvania license plates.
New tonight, we're tracking the investigation into a shooting in Clinton County that killed the son of a police chief. Police say the shooting happened late this afternoon at a home on Wolf River Dock Road. That's not far from Dale Hollow Lake. Investigators say James Guffey, the son of Albany Police Chief Ernest Guffey, was shot during an argument and later died at a hospital. Police say they later arrested the suspect, 27-year-old Travis Sloan of Albany. He's been charged with murder. In Laurel County, police have arrested a man they say tried to rape a 12-year-old girl. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says 22-year-old Joshua Wagers met the girl through a mutual friend and implied to her that he was a police officer. Police say through Snapchat, the girl's father discovered Wagers was coming to his home to pick up the girl. Once Wagers arrived, police say the father held him there until deputies arrived. Deputies say Wagers had a badge, police radio, gun, drugs, alcohol, and a box of condoms with him. He's facing many charges, including attempted rape.
New tonight, a Richmond restaurant closed hours early because of a fire. It happened at Qdoba Mexican Grill off the Eastern Bypass. Richmond firefighters say the fire started in a gas grill in the kitchen. They say the grill's hood system put out most of the fire, and firefighters put out the rest once they turned off the gas. But they say the restaurant had to be closed because there was smoke throughout the building. No one was injured. There's no word on when the restaurant will reopen. Firefighters say the health department and the codes department have been called.
Hillary Clinton will stay off the campaign trail again tomorrow as she continues to recover from pneumonia. But Donald Trump supporters are not just questioning her health, they're also questioning her choice of words at a campaign stop last week. Jamie Yukas has the latest now from both campaigns.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Donald Trump used Hillary Clinton's remarks at a fundraiser last week to call her an out-of-touch elitist who can't relate to the common man.
Folks, come on up.
He then paraded his supporters up on stage in Asheville, North Carolina.
These are not deplorable people, that I can tell you.
My wife and I represent non-deplorable people.
Do I look deplorable?
No.
What? I am a wife, a mother. I work full time.
Clinton will spend a second day at home on Tuesday after her doctor says she's battling pneumonia. On Sunday, Clinton nearly passed out at a 9/11 event in New York. It took her campaign 8 hours to reveal she had been diagnosed with pneumonia on Friday. Clinton told CNN's Anderson Cooper she is feeling much better and that she didn't think her diagnosis was a big deal.
If we weren't fast enough, I've talked to my staff. We take responsibility for that. But the information is out there. You can't say the same thing about Donald Trump.
Clinton said she will release even more medical information in the next few days.
We've already met a high standard of transparency, and we know the least about Donald Trump of any candidate in recent American history.
Trump says he'll release results of his recent physicals soon. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, the White House.
Clinton says she expects to be campaigning again soon.
It was his way of honoring those who lost their lives in the September 11th attacks. Yesterday, former UK football player and current Tennessee Titan Avery Williamson wore a pair of patriotic cleats, even though the NFL told him he couldn't. But the Titans backed his decision. And new at 11, Monique Blair talks to the Lexington man who created the custom design on Williamson's cleats.
It all started a couple of weeks ago.
Part stencil, part hand painted.
Right here in Lexington.
Combining my art with sneakers, which is my other passion, and here we are.
Inside Billy Hobbs' studio, as he jokingly calls it, a special pair of cleats was made for former UK football player and now Tennessee Titan linebacker Avery Williamson.
With the opening game on 9/11, he wanted to do something to pay homage to, those that lost their lives on that day 15 years ago.
Once Hobbs finished the custom-made patriotic shoes, they quickly gained national attention.
I kind of prematurely posted them like I normally do on my regular Instagram feed.
Soon after, Williamson was contacted by the NFL saying if he wore the shoes, he'd pay a fine because they violate the NFL uniform code. But then several different New York and New Jersey police associations came forward, saying they'd pay the fine. So on Sunday,
He came out of the tunnel right as game time and had them on, and it was pretty awesome.
And now those special shoes are up for auction. Not only will the winner get the honorary 9/11 cleats, they will also get 2 VIP game tickets and an autographed jersey.
all the proceeds will go to Operation Warrior Wishes, an organization that honors veterans. So in the end, those shoes that were made right here in Lexington will make their way around the nation, showing that honor that Williamson wanted each step of the way. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Well, the NFL has not said if Williamson will be fined for wearing the patriotic cleats, but Titans coach Mike Mularkey said he would take care of any fines.
Police at Western Kentucky University now investigating some disturbing notes left in an assistant dean's office. What those notes said in 9 minutes.
And then police say a toddler died after accidentally shooting himself in Louisville. How they say he found the gun.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Got a busy pattern slowly but surely taking shape across the country. September, kind of a normal, tranquil month into central and eastern Kentucky, but later this week and this weekend, we're going to try to ramp it up a little bit. That's typically the case when you start to get the clash of the season setting up, and we've got them right now, and I can show you that on a wide view. I want to establish what's going on right out of the gate. You see the Rocky Mountains? It's snowing. We've got winter weather advisories into parts of Wyoming right now, and Montana with some snow. That cold air is never going to get in here, but it is bumping up against summer that is fighting back across the region over the next couple of days. So as this cold front slowly works its way toward our region, that's the first of 2 fronts that will show up. This will bring the warm temperatures again out ahead of that, more in the way of humidity, and that front arrives on Wednesday with a couple of scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Nothing that is terribly widespread. Out ahead of that, air is dry and it's cooling very quickly. If you're out in the open countryside right now, chances are your thermometers are already down into the mid and the upper 50s right now. A lot of thermometers, especially those at airports, are still into the 60s. Nobody lives at an airport though. 55 in the morning, 85 tomorrow afternoon. So with that dry air, you get some sunshine. All of a sudden, that air that cools at night is going to really heat up during the afternoon. A few upper 80s will be possible out there before the day is through the farther west that you live. Defender Radar Network, forget about it. It is calm across the entire area. And again, tomorrow, middle 80s with a partly cloudy sky. Southern southeastern Kentucky. Watch this hour-by-hour forecast. We make our way through the rest of the overnight. We have the possibility, southeastern Kentucky, to squeeze out a little shower at some point into the afternoon. Noontime tomorrow, it's upper 70s, low 80s. There you go, with a little green showing up into the southeastern corner of the state. It's a small chance, but a chance nonetheless. Most areas stay dry tomorrow. How about Wednesday? That's when that front gets closer, but it does not have a ton of juice to work with. Into the afternoon and evening, anyone is really fair game for a scattered shower or thunderstorm by that time, but overall it is a pattern that will give us only some scattered stuff across the entire area. We go toward the weekend that is looking wet. It decided to take a lot of the surface moisture off this, but you get the overall idea with the map here. Cold front to our west, moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf's going to be open for business, so the humidity levels will be up there this weekend. And we also have the possibility of some showers and storms. Between now and then, any one day that features more sun than clouds where you live, you can reach the upper 80s. Come on, summer. Get on out of here. 79 on Saturday with some showers and some thunderstorms. Saturday right now over the next week. If you're twisting my arm to say which day looks the wettest, that would be Saturday at this point. But as I said earlier, it's only Monday.
We haven't twisted your arm yet.
No,
you want me to try? No.
Listen, you want a dry weekend, you pay me. See, that's how this works here. Huh? Not twist the arm.
I'm sure he has a pretty big bill for us to pay, too.
Oh, I know he does.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has made a proposal he says will help many cities near Lake Cumberland. That's in 8 minutes.
Up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
New tonight, an assistant dean at Western Kentucky University says someone has been leaving racist notes at her office.
Michelle Jones is also a professor at Western Kentucky University. She says the notes have been left under her office door, and at this point she says she doesn't know who wrote them.
One of them pretty much told me to take my black back to Africa so that America and South Campus could be great again.
Campus police are now investigating but say they do not have any suspects. In a statement, the university's president said the campus has zero tolerance for any actions that degrade, discriminate against, or belittle others. Jones says that many people on campus at Western have reached out saying they support her.
We are learning more tonight about what led to a shooting that killed a 3-year-old boy in Louisville. It happened last night at an apartment in the city's Algonquin neighborhood. Police say the boy, Anthony Wells, found a loaded gun that had been hidden behind a television and started playing with it.
It was the father's gun. He had left it inside the residence. Everybody had gone to sleep. The 3-year-old had woke up in bed and got up and found the gun.
At some point, police say the boy accidentally fired the gun, shooting himself. He was rushed to the hospital but died early this morning. Police have not filed any charges at this point, but they say they want to review the case with the Commonwealth's attorney. Investigators think they now know what caused a fire that killed 9 people at a home in Memphis this morning. Tonight, firefighters said an electrical malfunction in an air conditioning unit's power cord started the fire. They said 3 adults and 6 children died in the fire, and they say another child is in critical condition at a hospital. Firefighters say the home did have a working smoke detector.
New tonight, a teenager who police say walked away from a rehab facility in Casey County has been found safe. Police say 17-year-old Cameron Cooper was found at her home in Grayson County today. She was reported missing last week after police say she left Liberty Ranch Rehab early on Wednesday morning.
Tonight, leaders of a Letcher County volunteer fire department say they need some volunteers. Letcher Fire and Rescue even posted a message on Facebook hoping to find some help. Firefighters say in the last 2 years, they've only had 1 or 2 new volunteers join the department.
During the day, it's hard to get the firefighters out. Like I said, the guys that work their full-time jobs during the day, and we have problems. We have problems during the daylight hours and up into the early morning.
Firefighters say with more volunteers, they would be able to respond to emergencies more quickly.
New tonight, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has introduced an amendment he says would help cities that rely on Lake Cumberland as a water source. It's an amendment to the Water Resources Development Act. It would prevent the Army Corps of Engineers from charging 11 cities and businesses that get water from the lake a one-time user fee, and they would not have to pay annual operation and maintenance fees. Senator Rand Paul says he's trying to prevent the government from placing more financial burdens on these cities and businesses.
Brian's up now. Mark Stoops doesn't have a lot to be happy about right now.
No, and he admitted today he isn't happy, especially with the defense. He has liked the running game, but keeping the running game effective depends on a couple of factors. We'll talk about it next. Mark Stoops said tonight on his radio show he will become more involved in the defense. When Tom Leach asked him to elaborate, Stoops said no. Stoops did tell the media this afternoon changes were on the way. Stoops praised his secondary the entire preseason, but they were kind of humbled this past weekend as Florida threw for 320 yards.
I am disappointed. But, you know, that's that fine line. You know, I try to talk nice about them, but they listen to it, you know. And if you don't do the work, then it isn't worth anything. You know, they're good kids. They mean well. They just don't understand yet. And they're sophomores, and I'll be in their meeting today.
How much of that
Their
is
football IQ is going to go up.
Now, one bright spot for the Cats has been Boom Williams. Through 2 games, Boom has carried the ball 25 times for 165 yards. It's an average of 6.4 a carry. But UK must stay in positive situations to run the ball more.
You know, our O-line, you know, did a good job, and Boom ran the ball pretty well at times. Again, we just can't. You can't do it, you know, once or twice, and then the next first down, you get a D-line movement and you get -2. You know, now all of a sudden you're 2nd and 12 and in a world of hurt instead of 2nd and 5.
Sophomore outside linebacker Kobe Walker has been suspended. He did not make the trip to Florida, is not listed on the depth chart for the New Mexico State game. Mark Stoops did say today he's not ready to make a decision on when Walker would be reinstated. Walker had 10.5 tackles against Southern Miss. So the Wildcats have a golden opportunity to get some momentum and get back on track Saturday where they host the Aggies of New Mexico State. 4 p.m. kickoff, and you can see it on the SEC alternate channel. Game time announced today for the South Carolina matchup. That's the following weekend, Saturday, September 24th, 7:30 from Commonwealth Stadium, and you will see that on the SEC network. The NCAA pulling 7 championship events from the state of North Carolina for the upcoming year due to a state law that some say can lead to discrimination against the LGBT community. Here are the events to be held elsewhere now. Men's basketball tournament games set for Greensboro. Division I Women's Soccer Championship, Division III Men's and Women's Soccer Championships, Division I Women's Golf Regionals, Division III Men's and Women's Tennis Championships, Division I Women's Lacrosse Championships, and the Division II Baseball Championship Series. Interesting. On Sunday, J.B. Holmes finished 4th at the BMW Championship to secure a spot in the 30-player field for the Tour Championship in a couple of weeks. Today, more good news for the former UK star. JB named one of 3 captains picks for the U.S. Ryder Cup team that will compete in Hazleton, Minnesota at the end of the month. Holmes last played for the U.S. Ryder Cup team back in 2008 when it was in Valhalla, Louisville. Kentucky's Leah Edmond has been named the SEC Freshman of the Week for her performance over the weekend at the Bluegrass Battle. The Lexington native currently leads all SEC freshmen in kills and kills per set through 9 matches this season. Edmond leads UK with 3.7 kills per set. It's likely the first of many SEC awards to come to the talented freshman. That's sports. We'll be right back.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away here on WKYT. Tonight's guests include Dr. Phil McGraw.
All righty.
Are you glad people cannot tune in?
Yeah. We were talking about something during the commercial break that will have to be unsaid. Sorry.
I got a thing.
It's late, folks. Let's look outside. Weather, 7-day. Take me away. 85 tomorrow. It could be a shower, thunderstorm around Wednesday. Better chances this weekend.
It's just Monday.
It is only Monday.
It is Monday. We got a long rest of the week to go, kids. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you back here tomorrow.
Good night.